What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to another Brave Century video. It's been a while since we've done a YouTube video. It's kind of nice to get back. I do apologize for the lack of content lately. I don't think we have uploaded since April, but that's because there's been a lot of bad news for the Braves. And while I want to talk all Braves, I don't want to be the most negative person in the world. But I do want to share my opinions today. And today we're going to talk about Brian Snitker, specifically if he's on the hot seat or not. Now, if you follow us on Instagram or have interacted with me or the other owner of this account on Instagram, you know that we are not huge fans of Brian Snitker. As of late, he's made some bad moves, and I think people are starting to realize, like, maybe this is not the guy. But like I said, if you've ever talked to me on social media before, you know that I'm not a huge fan of Brian Snitker. But it's a little harder to type all of that out and express my feelings over text. So today I'm just gonna create a video. It won't be too long. I hope you stick around and watch. So let's get started. Is Braves manager Brian Snitker on the hot seat? My automatic answer is yes. And I want to break this down into multiple parts because a lot of people say, well, he's been so good for us. He's taken us to 3 consecutive National League East titles. That's great. But I'm not sure what happened, because before this, I've never really liked Snitker, but before this, he wasn't making nearly as many questionable game-costing moves as he is now. So I'm wondering if maybe age or whatnot has taken a toll on him. But it almost feels like he's trying to lose now. And I do hate to say that because I know it's not true, but his decisions are really showing that. So I do want to say thank you to him, and I mean this video in no disrespect to him at all, but it is time for us to move on from him. And there's been a lot of questionable moves, and I get that it's easy to go back and say, well, why'd you do that after we've lost a game? But some of them, you know it's going to happen before it even starts. And I'll take last night, for example. Last night, we lost to the Red Sox 10-8 again. I think in the top of the 7th inning, we were up 1. They had bases loaded, 1 out. Shane Green strikes a guy out. He's on a roll. I think they had the 9-hole coming up next, so they were going to pinch hit, and they announced they were going to hit a righty. And Shane Green's a righty. We got a righty-righty. Green's got all the momentum. But Snitker decides to go to our bullpen and take who's probably been the worst guy out of our bullpen so far this year, Minter, who's a lefty, and to face a righty. I'll say that again. He took our worst guy out of the bullpen, who's a lefty, and to face a righty when our pitcher had all the momentum. This move doesn't make any sense. Of course, you already know what happened. He hit a grand slam, and we all had a feeling that was coming, to be honest with you. And one of the group chats during the game, we were talking on Instagram about how this was going to be a grand slam, and that's exactly what happened. And these are the types of moves that can't keep being made. We're 7.5 games back in the National League East. That is terrible. This team is far too good to be 7.5 games back of a very injured Mets team. And I say that with all due respect to the Mets. They've had a good season so far. No matter what I say, they've had a good season, and they've dealt with injuries well. But for us to be 7.5 games back of them, how banged up they are, is kind of embarrassing. And something's got to change. I don't know. Maybe our pitching coach, Kranitz, needs to be fired. Obviously the pitching has been pretty bad this year. Starters have been inconsistent. You already know the bullpen has been terrible. Maybe he needs to go. Maybe it's we need new owners. Liberty Media they're terrible at owners. They're awful. And if you really have questions about why they're so bad, leave a comment. Leave a comment about anything. Leave a comment about whether Snitker should be fired, why, if not, who should. Go comment. And I try to get back and reply on all comments, both on Instagram and on YouTube. But we're really trying to grow this account, so leave a comment, like, and subscribe if you haven't already. Now, I want to kind of close this video by talking about who would take the role of Brian Snitker if he is fired. And I think the right man for the job is Ron Washington. Ron has proven himself. He took the Rangers to the World Series, I think, twice. Lots of postseasons with a team that wasn't that great, and he turned them into a good team. I think he's the guy that needs to take over. I don't know what your opinion is on that. So if you think Snitker should be fired, but not Ron Washington, comment that, let me know. But overall, I really want to know what you guys think about Brian Snitker. I've expressed my opinions on why I think he needs to go, and I've I've tried to give him as much respect as possible, but I do think it's time to go for him. But I want to know what you guys think. I don't want to make another Instagram post because I've already made so many about how bad Brian Snitker is. So I don't want to do that again. But please leave a comment here. Let me know. Let us also know how we can improve the channel and keep growing. Thank you for listening.